Hello there. You're in the Beat Sessions, the place for all things music, and where we do the listening for you. I'm your host, Mitchell Weary. It is Friday, May 12th. Hope you've all had an outstanding week and that you have some fun stuff lined up for the weekend. We're going to do something a little unconventional and dip back to last week, May 5th, talk about this new record from Gord Downie entitled Lustre Parfait. Now, this is his 8th solo outing and his follow-up to 2020's Away Is Mine, which is also the first album to be released after his tragic passing back in 2017. I'm really excited to talk about this record. Gord Downie, frontman of the Tragically Hip. If you're not familiar with him, one of the most well-respected figures, not just in Canada, but just in music all around the world. A really solid, kind person that had such immense talent, such an incredible voice. And I'd say that this project might be one of the best, if not at least one of the coolest vocal performances that is out there for him. Teaming up with Bob Rock on this thing, an incredible producer who's worked with everybody from Metallica to Michael Bublé. He's all over the place. Also, a great musician, a great producer. This is just a match made in heaven. Music that is built off of friendship. Bob teamed up with Tragically Hip back in '06 for World Container, in 2009 for We Are the Same. And it's so cool that, you think about this project and how it was put together basically when they had free time to come together and make it happen. So you listen to this thing, 14 songs, and it's wonderful to have such an incredible amount of music. It's a little over an hour, 62 minutes here, but the continuity that's here, it's incredible. The versatility in the music, the influences, and the way that it comes together. It's just such a fun project and an emotional experience as well. Bob talks about how after Gord's passing, he really just couldn't even, listen to these songs, couldn't even approach them. But before his passing, Gord, made him promise that the world could hear this stuff. So again, thank you, Bob, for being able to make this happen. And I can't imagine how tough this is. He talks in interviews about, going through this process and how there's so many times where he wished he could have looked at Gord and been like, what do you think, man? Like, what could improve this, if anything at all? I think that you did so right by him. I think that this is the best record of the year so far. I am in love with this album. I've listened to it 3 times, kind of selfishly. My dad was in town up until yesterday too, so it's time was kind of pinched, but really taking a moment to take this thing in for what it is and to appreciate it, because I'm not sure what that catalog looks like as far as unreleased music that will continue to be put out from Gord. There could be dozens of albums, there could be nothing after this. So when you get a project like this, it's just a pleasure to be able to have something, and in a lot of ways it feels like we're getting to know a different side of Gord. This project is so much fun. This is, a lot that, you can see, Tragically Hip and the influence that's there always, but really picking up the tempo. And again, the vocal performance on this thing, the melodies that he's pushing, the vocal hooks and everything that's there, so dynamic. And I think really at the top of his game, probably some of the best stuff that he's ever done. And Bob too, the music that he's put together, the production quality on this thing, it is just a damn pleasure to be able to have this record. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to this already, set aside some time to check this thing out this weekend. It's my album of the year so far. I'm just going to say it. I really enjoyed that album from The National that just recently came out. There's been some other great projects this year, but this thing is blown me away. Really a collaboration that's a match made in heaven with these two incredible musicians and producers and songwriters. And frankly, you can't ask for more on this thing. It kicks off with Great Boy Says. This is a damn cool song. It's got these galloping drums. It's like groovy swinging trad feel. Really reminded me of just that big Irish feel. And Gord's vocals are light but stern. It's an interesting song because I like it as an opener. I like the tempo and the feel of it. But as far as his vocal performance, it's probably like the most restrained throughout the record. And it's I think in a lot of ways, like not, going so big to lead things off is a cool way to kind of to usher you into this thing, so to speak, because the choruses just get bigger and bigger and bigger. But what I like about this track, it's like a cool feel of Talking Heads and Flogging Molly. And that 80s kind of new wave post-punk feel is driving a lot of this record, which is why I'm just loving the hell out of it as well. But there's a great little solo in Great Boy Says. It's gets into a pretty heavy direction. Second solo leads us out. Big drums with that. It's a great opener. The Raven and the Red-Tailed Hawk is your second song. Hot drums right out of the gate. Bass is light, and the guitar has got this like new wave post-punk feel. It's got this light, playful synth that's really works in nicely. Chorus hits hard. Gord's vocal is it feels on the chorus like it's more punk and then new wave. Kind of like it's a heavier feel to it. But his vocal's great. Love the bridge. Lots of great synth and guitar play on this particular track. Your title track, Lustre Parfait, is your third song. A little like Southern rock and gospel here to open this thing up. Nice dynamic there. It's that flare is brought to light by nice horns that worked in. Feels a little bit like Talking Heads as well on this song. It's got a great pop and soul dynamic. Another solid vocal hook from Gord. The bridge is pretty cool as well. Hard rocking. Love the organ that's working in on this thing, and another great coda on this song. The Moment is a Wild Place is your fourth song. Guitar note slides in over the organ wash on this thing to open. Other light texture hits. It's got this like very chill island feel. Acoustic and slide guitar that works in. Love the stark piano that this thing is playing around with. It's got the soaring chorus from Gord. Piano continues in the second verse. It's got this like playful element off the guitar that's a lot of fun to listen to. I enjoyed that. Something More is your fifth song. Bright horns, these like gothic synths. It's got this great exchange between the two of them in this song. It's really, really fun. Driving drums on this thing. The percussion leads to really solid guitar rock. It's a nice heavy song too. Camaro is your sixth song. Thick bass, jazzed influence horns, ushering this like 80s new wave jangle pop style feel. And again, a little more Talking Heads taking hold on that. The North Shore is your seventh song. I really dig this track. Pretty acoustic piano vocal intro on this thing. It's this like sense of longing and nostalgia driving this track that is so evocative. It's really well done. Chorus fills out for this really like ballad. It's kind of like an alt rock style ballad. That's a really nice number. Is There Nowhere is your eighth track. More of that piano. It's like light electro percussion. I like the mid-tempo drive and the production on this thing. Got these like frenzied strings that work in that are pretty cool. Chorus explodes, has this ominous feel, great harmony. Shade Raval, I believe, is the singer that's doing the backing vocals on that particular track, but really liking the vocal dynamic on that song there. To Catch the Truth is the ninth song. I love that song title. It's has a fun garage rock and punk feel, pop and jangle pop there. So it's like I like that lightness that's working in there as well. It's a great dynamic, super catchy groove on the song. It's really, really fun. The 10th song, Let Me Howl. This is probably my favorite track. This is a really cool song. Breezy new wave feel. I love the simple bass lick on this thing. Kind of reminds me a bit of Tears for Fears. Yeah, also just, a great little bit of post-punk drive there, especially when you hit this breakdown. It's got this just awesome jazz feel to it, a little bit of reggae that's driving it as well. It's super cool. And then this thing kicks into rock out finish. A really, really damn cool song. Enjoyed that very much. Hell Breaks Loose is your 11th track. Another great song as well. Synth wash, could be frenzied strings that are doing that, but I think it's just a little bit of synth that's at play there. It sounds like it. Sounds like there's just some strings that are really just going to work. Simple electric guitar and vocal on this track. Love the ambient riff that's at play here. This thing, it reminded me a lot of U2, that riff especially. Something that the Edge would do, absolutely. I love when the song hits though and fills in. It's got this moody mid-tempo groove, and then it builds into this soaring affair. It's really nicely done. Safest Day of the Year is your 12th track. Simple groove in the drums, got this like ska reggae feel. Feels a bit like The Clash, honestly. It's kind of where my head went when I kicked this thing off. But I enjoyed the track, and it leads into your penultimate song, In the Field. A great penultimate track. Also a really cool song. Garage rock, a little more of that like dynamic with the pop and the jangle pop feel. But there's bits of jazz and soul and swing driving this thing. It is a really fun song and leads into There Goes the Sun, your final track. It's got this chill piano and vocal, works in with like this light country flair. It's a little Beatle-esque, like a little chamber pop into the Beach Boys a bit. But honestly, Wilco was the band I thought of when I heard this song. But damn it, if this isn't just such a cool record. And Bob, it's like the millionth time I've probably thanked you in this review. But for everybody that's enjoying the channel, that's subscribed, for everybody out there that watches this, thank you for giving the world this project and for following up on your promise to Gord, man. It's I'm sure it wasn't easy to do it, but it's obviously totally worth it in the end. This is a really damn cool record that you guys put together, and of course it's a vinyl. Please enjoy this record over the weekend. Like this review, share it, subscribe to the channel, do all those things to help us blow this project up in 2023. Stay tuned throughout the week for more album reviews. We'll see you next time on the Beat Sessions.